Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody and welcome back to Geoguessr. We're doing a 3-minute European Union. And we already found .pt. I don't know where that is. That's what sucks. That's what really fucking sucks. But it's only going to be European Union locations. So our main focus is Europe. Now we do have Poland, but I think it's PL. Portugal probably makes more sense. But I don't know what Portugal calls themselves. But based on this language, it definitely looks kind of Spanish. And if I'm completely wrong, then I am completely wrong. But it looks like a city somewhere. Well, obviously it's a city, and obviously we know we're in the European Union, but I feel like Portugal's a good guess. Now, we probably won't need 3 minutes per location. You could probably get away with knowing where we are pretty fast. Portugal is a relatively small country. We could probably guess Lisbon or Porto, and either one would probably give us a few thousand points. If we really wanted to get perfect scores, we would be playing famous places, because I actually know what those places are. I don't expect fully to ever get a perfect location, mainly because I don't speak the majority of languages that this game gives us access to. Like, if we're ever in Russia, I'm telling you right now, we will never get a perfect location. Mainly because I don't understand Russian. That's a big part. But secondly, even if I did understand Russian and knew exactly where we were, I'm really bad with distances. Like from Lisbon to Porto, right? The way it looks like it's maybe, I'm going to guess, about 100 to 150 miles. I would not be surprised if this isn't 150 miles, right? That's just part of it. But Porto Salis, is there a Salis on the coast? Just so that I can just... No, but there's Porto. So we're probably in the city of Porto. We haven't seen any water, so let's go over here. Actually, let's just go closer to Porto. And it's actually closer to Lisbon, even though it's at Porto. So that's 4,277 points, and that's 182 miles. So what did I say before? Lisbon to Porto was like 100, 150. So it's a little bit more than that. So I was off by about 30, 32, 33 miles at my highest guess. But let's go on to the next location. We got some trees. Definitely feels eastern. I don't know if it's the road. You could definitely see some like fillings. So it's definitely got to get cold here to allow for like the potholes, which it looks like it's kind of forming. Now, would you guys... Oh god, we have one of these locations. Would you guys consider England to still be a part of the European Union? Because I know that fight is currently still going on. What is it, Brexit? Where they're talking about leaving. I don't know if this map will allow us to have one of those locations in England. Mainly because I don't think it's a part of it. But what do you guys think of Brexit? As an outsider, right, as an outside source looking in, I thought it was stupid, right? I thought the idea behind it wasn't, like, thought out. But I don't know if I was misrepresented by American media. Like, that could totally be it, right? Like, where, like, because, like, all I know is, like, Brexit happened, and then the world economy, like, fell a few thousand points, right? Like, I know that was, like, the cause and effect, right? Well, like, I think... The idea behind it, now correct me if I'm wrong, I think the idea behind it was that the people of Britain wanted more control about the amount of refugees and the type of refugees that were allowed into the country. That was my general understanding from the way American media presented it. Now, if that's not true, then obviously I am, running off of false information, as is probably the majority of the American population. If that is true, was it because, like, I don't know how to, like, put this the right way. Like, if that was, like, that was the primary, right? Okay, hold on. We got, Leap Nektarvalaka, I can't even pronounce that. But that definitely feels Nordic to me. Was it the misrepresentation of how you guys wanted to go about letting in refugees? Because that's how I thought it was. I thought it was that you guys wanted more say in how you did it, and not just having the European Union go, no, you're doing it. That's what my idea was. Like, that's how I was, I guess, interpreting what happened. But obviously, everyone has different ideas on it. If you guys do know a little bit about it, feel free to fucking let me know. Because I don't know what actually happened. But we're in Stockholm. God damn it. We don't have Stockholm Syndrome, but we're in Stockholm. God, where is that? I know where it is, but I don't know where it is. Isn't it? Yeah, Sweden. Alright. We'll keep it around here for now. And we'll see if we can't find anything else that might tell us something a little different. But that definitely looks Swedish. Now, Swedish fish, the candy. Is that an American candy? That's, you know what? I want to know everything about your candies. Yeah, there's a Swedish flag. Because I know I've been to London, and a little bit around the area of London. I've been to Ireland. I've been to a few countries, and I think one of the most unique when it came to their food was when I was at South Korea. Mainly because I'm not a big fan of pasta dishes, and I didn't speak the language. So me ordering Korean food in Korea was pretty difficult. Let me just throw that out there. It looks like we're over by the palace. So we got to be by a river. Which I don't know if this is what we're looking at. It definitely feels like that's the city hall. Right? So I'm sure we could probably get like over here. I think that's what it was. Actually, we were closer to the amusement park, which I didn't even notice. But we were only 1.5 miles away. That's not bad. That's 4,994 points. Now, we're definitely doing a little bit better. I think that that if we didn't see that Lisbon, we would have guessed the actual capital of Portugal. I think that was the actual capital of Portugal. And then, obviously, I'm not very good with Lithuania, because that's where... No, what was it? Latvia. I wasn't able to tell the difference at that location. Here, on the other hand, looks like we're on the left-hand side of the road. I hope we're on the left-hand side of the road. This you won't be able to tell because there's cars facing the same way. But they are parked on the right, so we could be on the right-hand side of the road. We got a for sale sign. Ooh, and it's in English, which means we might be in England. Arc rights, that doesn't... There's the pound symbol, so that's English. We're in England. So, there goes the question from the beginning. Will they still have English places here? Reduth, Trucking Mill, Valley Park, Eastern Lane, and we know for sure it's not in Australia or New Zealand because they're not members of the European Union. I guess Ireland could be legit, right? Like definitely could be Ireland. If it could be England, it could be Ireland. It could be, I suppose, Northern Ireland. The only real difference between the two is Celtic words sometimes places, right? I think. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I see a .com on two places, but it's .gb, which is Great Britain, which means Scotland, Wales are definitely out because it's the United Kingdom when it's all of them, and Great Britain when it's just England. So we know we're somewhere in England. Let's see if we can't find a town name. Obviously, we saw them before, but going by minutes traveled, that's going to be a little bit difficult to ascertain the actual distance you need to travel. Because if I told somebody I lived, hypothetical, an hour away from New York City, right? That doesn't really tell you much. It tells you I'm kind of close to New York City. I'm not actually that close, but it's a point that You can't just tell somebody you're an hour away. You're 10 minutes away from the pool. What does that fucking mean? But it does look like Cornwall College, so I'm looking for a Cornwall. I'm not really going to find it. Let's go over by Leicester. And we're actually really far south. Over in Camborne. But that's still 4,094 points. And on to the last and final location. Kind of resembles what I would think of Italy or France. Now that doesn't mean we are where I think we are. It's just the architecture definitely feels like we've seen it before. That is a flag I definitely don't recognize, but I can tell you it's not French, and it's probably not Italy. That looked Russian at first, but now it looks like there's something else on it. I don't know if that's just the way the flag is set up, but that's, I think, Russian. I think. Fucking goddamn it. Dot NT, or is that just blurred out and all we're getting is the NT? Yeah. Whatever. Fuck me. Alright. Definitely, the language doesn't look Russian. Definitely Slovenian tradition. Alright. So in Slovenia. Now, Slovenia, I think at one point was a part of Russia, wasn't it? God damn it. I don't... maybe? Now, Slovenia, I don't know anything about Slovenia. I had trouble finding it just now, to put it in perspective. What... I know... What was it? I know the Ukraine used to be a part of Russia. I think Belarus, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. I think all of these used to be a part of Russia. Especially during, and Georgia, I'm pretty sure these places as well. Especially during the communism of like the 50s to the late 80s, early 90s. So like, I don't really know too much about the countries that were coming out of the USSR and forming their own countries, right? Like, I don't know much about it. So, I don't know anything really about Slovenia, but if their flag is resembling Russia, which is red, blue, and white, which I'm pretty sure is the same colors as the Russian flag, I would assume they were probably a part of Russia at one point, right? Like, that's... I think that's fair to guess and assume. So, why are they further away, I guess? I don't... Well, that doesn't make sense, but, like, did Russia's influence get as far away as Slovenia? Did it affect Hungary, Romania, all these places? I know it affected Ukraine, but we only know really this is the biggest city in Slovenia, so that's where we're going to guess. And it was actually not there. It was probably the capital. But that's still 4,732 points. So, I mean, 21,884 points. Compared to some of the locations we've done, this is pretty good. Right? It could be definitely a lot worse. As I'm sure there's going to be people who do worse than me. I am fully expecting to lose this. I'm throwing that out there now. Fully expecting to lose this. But 22,000 points. That's not bad. It's a stiffer competition than it was. We only missed out by roughly 3,000 points, which that's probably this Sweden up here, Sweden to Latvia, and probably that England and the Portugal, but this is probably the biggest part of the points that we lost. But I do hope you all enjoyed. We didn't do too bad, and I hope you guys all do just as good, if not better than I do. But I do hope to see you all next time. Have a good rest of your day, and bye-bye.